Which was like seeing a cockroach in your house and realizing there must be hundreds of, because these things breathe like hell. Yeah, great. Okay. AK to descend to realization. Yeah, I guess it's just like, but is that something that you can basically say about any horror movie? Or is it, or do you think some horror movies or horror stories you cannot really dive any deeper than what it already has? For example, Nightmare on Elm Street. You can't really dive deeper in Nightmare on Elm Street except what the movies have showed us, right? We can't have like, okay, family burned Freddy because he was a child murderer, and then his spirit somehow manifested into this nightmare monster, and now he goes around killing people in their sleep. All horror has fridge horror. All things that are not horror also have fridge horror. But how would you like give me an tell me how would you fridge horror Nightmare on Elm Street right now? Because I feel like you can't really dive any deeper than what we already have with it. And in the meantime, I will tell you who the author is, Mr. Ronan. We had him very recently with 2555. That was very recent. Oops. That was the building that like kind of like bends towards the sun. And I forgot, it's like something, it was a little bit confusing for me, but there's also like something happening inside the building, like with the workers. They're also a little bit mysterious. But yes, we had Mr. Ronan very recent. A lot of movies do a lot of descent to a lot of movies do a lot of descent to realization in, but some things in my opinion never give an explanation. I guess with Nightmare on Elm Street you could say like, I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street either though, but the explanation for Freddy's existence probably has some fucked up implications. Yeah, I was about to say, like, with Nightmare on Elm Street, I guess the fridge horror aspect of it is like, how did he even get the power to like infiltrate somebody's dreams, right? I guess that you could argue because it has never been. I mean, no, actually, I think one of the movies did explain it a little bit. But yeah, that's true. Okay, like that. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, you get. Well, I feel like that's it's interesting that there's a term for it. I think that's the reason why I'm a little bit like slow on like on how this works, because I feel like at the end like fridge horror is actually such an odd term for like just diving deeper into the world. Yeah, right. One of the Elm Street still explaining his abilities exactly. I think it was like 4 or 5. It was definitely like something with the church. And okay, but hey, Mr. Ronan, sorry, we had him recently, and now his current one that we're going to read is called Broken Dreams on Dekalb Avenue. And before I go, I just got a message. Let me just okay, let's go. Broken Dreams on Dekalb Avenue. Dude, we just had an SCP about dreams, okay? And that broke a lot of people. Object class safe, special containment procedures. SCP-2572 is currently contained in a storage chamber inside 132. Testing of SCP-2572 must be approved by the project lead. Subjects approved for testing are to undergo psychological testing prior to and after the tests. Subjects who experience prolonged psychological effects are to be administered Class B amnestics. By the way, Howard, how are you feeling? You were like, you're feeling awake? Or do you want to go to bed? Interior of SCP-2572. Oh, we have a bunch of horror games right now that have to do with like a subway train. Yeah, it's called fridge horror because you know how we put things in the fridge to make it last long and have it later. It's basically like that. Huh. I don't know, for me personally, I would say I would prefer the term drill horror because you kind of like drill deeper into the world, right? Instead of fridge. Because you really like go into like, oh, let's deep dive into the layers. That's how I would like. That's the term I would come up with. SCP-2572 is a subway car formerly belonging to a train operating within the New York City subway system. SCP-2572 was in operation from 1972 until 1980. Shortly after reports of its anomalous properties were documented, SCP-2572 was promptly removed from its train and sent to Site 132 for containment. What do you mean, sure, Crazy Gracie? You're like, are you saying that because you're on my side, or are you adding some sass to it? Are you giving me sass, boy? Are you giving me sass, boy? Is that what I'm reading? Is that what I'm smelling? I'm totally sassing. Oh, you bitch! You absolute cunt! Why, you don't like drill horror? Drill horror doesn't make sense because like there's a lot of slasher movies where drill gets involved. I'm telling you. Or you could go, you could also, if you really want to go fucking memey with it, if you want to go full meme, you could say onion horror because it has layers. Because it has layers, bro. You could also go that route. But at the end, I feel like drilling, as in like, because like you're asking questions and that's what you do in interviews. Like you have to drill questions into them to get more answers out of them. That makes more sense. Like nobody goes to an interview like it's like, oh yeah, fridge them. Like what? Like what do you mean? You'd never heard an interrogation. You never heard like an interrogation by a policeman and be like, so did you fridge them hard? I'm like, what? What? SCP-2572's effect manifests whenever a subject is inside of it. We're having fun today. We're having fun today, eh? It's inside of it and the car is traveling between the 34th Street Herald Square Station and the Dekalb Avenue Station. SCP-2572's effect can be activated by stimulating its travel between these stations. This is accomplished by playing audio that is typical to subway car travel in New York City, train moving along track, intercom announcement, etc. Effects may vary, but generally follows a pattern as SCP-2572 travel between stations. Note the effects will only manifest when the car begins traveling out of 34th Street Herald Square Station. Effects are stated as follows. I'll go head to bed, unfortunately. See ya, man. Hey, good night, my man. Thanks for joining in on Crackerwood Park. That was fun. Did you fridge him hard? Yeah, I mean... you see how that would, like, be such a weird thing to say instead of, like, did you drill them hard? Like, that makes more sense. Like, I understand as in, like... I understand what Howard said with, like, putting it in the fridge so it lasts longer. But that would make more sense if you wanna talk about a horror movie franchise that doesn't die. I know the term milking it exists, right? Like you milk it for all it's worth. But then I would also say putting a franchise in the fridge would make sense for like, oh, we want this franchise to last. Even though the taste of it will fade with time if you keep it too long in the fridge. That for me would make more sense to explain. I'm just throwing things out there. 34th Street Herald Square. At the end, I could be in the minority and be like, and everybody's going like, this guy's fucking stupid. This guy's saying random ass shit that doesn't even. No, it's called fridge horror, okay? We decided that and stays that way. I'm not at all reading. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mr. Ronan. Let me focus on reading again. 34th Street Herald Square. Subject experienced a rush marked by intense euphoria, increased heartbeat, increased respiration, dilated pupils, and increased alertness. During this time, the subject may also experience slight paranoia. Dude, can you imagine going to a subway station? And you're just going from one station to another, and just suddenly you're just like, all that. But everybody, not just you, everybody. 28th Street through 23rd Street, subject's perception of time from this point forward is increased. In addition, the subject's attention is fixated on 1 minute detail. Existing paranoia may increase. Anyone get like, yeah, bro, you want to go down to the subway station and gets a little bit of paranoia. 14th Street, Union Square. Subject begins to feel moderate paranoia, if not slight, if the subject has not experienced it up until this point. Subject may also begin to experience hallucinations, manifesting as dark humanoid figures within the subject's peripheral vision. Of course, peripheral vision. It's never right in front of you, it's always at the corner of your eye. 8th Street, Neo. Is that supposed to be New York? On the ground. Subject report discomfort within the lungs. Any subject who have not experienced hallucination at this point begins to do so, manifesting as the above mentioned. Prince Street. The aforementioned humanoids begin to move outside of the subject's peripherals. The humanoids lack a face of any defining feature, including hands and feet, and vary in number between subjects. The description of these humanoids match the description of an existing entity observed by the Foundation. For more information, refer to the document of SCP-2227. I'm pretty sure we know which one that is. 2227. Yep, it's what I thought it was. It's a shadowy figure in the subway SCP that that kidnaps you and keeps you in a different reality, and it's like, you're here with me now. You have to help me out, and then you're stuck with him. So that makes sense. Subject reports the instance sliding along the length of the subway car and outside of the car. In addition, the subject feels additional discomfort in the lungs and tightness of the chest. What the fuck did you just write? Why would you want that? Why would you want that, brother? Is it a fetish? Is that what it is? Do you have like a fetish for somebody that wants you so bad that they... Okay. For fun. You know that... The fun part gets taken really quickly out once you get like, hit in the back of the head with a gun barrel or a gun handle. The fun ends real fast when you get like... and then just dragged into a car against your own will. Canal Street. Upon the arrival of the Canal Street station, the subject experiences... By the way, if you see me doing this quite a lot, I did wake up yesterday with a nosebleed, so I'm just like cautious that in case it starts bleeding again, that like I react fast enough, because I don't want any of this to get hit by it. So, because right now I just feel like it being a little bit crusty. Sorry for the description in there, but I'm just making sure it doesn't just suddenly like flow again. Upon the arrival of the Canal Street station, the subjects experience an intense ringing sound. A delusion manifests with all subjects. All feel the saliva and mucus hardening. The dark humanoid continue to move within the car at an increased rate. City Hall. Subjects may begin coughing. Those that do report the delusion continue as fine white powder or small clear crystals expelled from various orifices. Additionally, subjects report the hallucinatory instances staring at the subject. Hey, why is cocaine coming out of my body? Rector Street. The humanoids begin to advance on the subject. Coughing increases if not beginning if the subject has not experienced it up to this point. Okay, got you. Acute paranoia manifests. The humanoids begin to manifest hands and feet. So they're basically becoming more and more the body parts are growing more and more in. Whitehall St. South Ferry. By the way, this is in New York, right? Yeah, New York City. I wonder how many people who are from New York who read all these like this streets are like, oh yeah, I know exactly this route, and they'll like in their head be like, okay, so at this station this happens. Interesting. Like I wonder how many people have read this and then went to the actual subway and wrote the exact path just to see how long it takes, and then read all like the different stations like symptoms. Bear with me, I'm being bargained with pizza. Pardon? Whitehall St. South Street, South Ferry. Subject's lungs begin to feel extremely irritated. Sensory overload may manifest in some subjects. The instances are now within close proximity of the subjects and are reported to extend their hands towards the subjects. The subject begins to feel discomfort along the body. Kurt Street. Between Whitehall Street and Kurt Street, the subject feels additional discomfort and shaking of the body as the instances begin to caress the subject's arms and legs. Ugh. Hey, don't you fucking... Not in public, man. Unless you're my girlfriend, don't you do that. Some subjects may also feel increased euphoria. Subjects that have coughed on the instances reports that instances displaying hostility, of course. I mean, at the end, nobody likes being coughed on. Said instances grab the subject, pin them to the ground, and continue to caress the subject. Come here! Anyway! Yes. You cannot escape my love. J Street, Metro Tech. By the way, Mr. Rowan, don't give Crazy Gracie any more ideas. This is exactly what he thinks kidnapping would be. If somebody is just taking him and just like, yes, let me caress you. And if then Ronan, if he then coughs on them, they then fucking WWE just smack him around, but then go back to like. You deserve that one, kitten. You deserve that one. But now back to this. These are all just Discord mods. Kitten, you coughed on me, so I gotta punish you. J Station, Metro Tech, subject is continuously caressed upon the arrival of J Street Station. Dude, I would feel so violated. If like some random like ghost figure just came up to me and just like started touching me all over while I'm in a public setting, in a station, up in a train, I would feel so violated. After SCP-2572 leaves the station, the subject begins to feel crawling of the skin. Instances continue to caress and invariably begin to reach towards the subject's genitals shortly before arrival of the I see where this is going. I absolutely understand where this is going. Dekalb Avenue Station. Immediately upon arrival, the subject reports cessation of all effects. So this is definitely an SCP that sexually assaults you. It's definitely like I have heard horror stories of women going to like trains, subway stations by themselves because they, at the end, like, you know, sometimes it just happens, right? And then some people are just very forceful, going to put themselves in, like coming closer, touching them. Yeah. SCP-2572 was discovered shortly after an incident involving an individual expiring within the car due to a heart attack. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Not only do you get paranoid with a sense of euphoria, but then you see ghost figures and then they start touching you. Yeah. The cover story was fabricated, news reports and broadcasts were suppressed, and affected personnel were administered Class B amnestics in combination with shock therapy. A toxicology report states the individual was under the influence of isopropylbenzylamine, methamphetamine, as well as previously unknown substances prior to death. The individual was never identified. So they were already like, the body was already in a bad state to begin with. They were definitely not ready to be caressed by shadow figures in a subway. Ugh. And again, I heard horror stories, especially like, I know that I heard stories of the New York subway being unhinged. So the scary thing is that this, besides it being ghosts and them just manifesting out of nowhere, there are girls and women that go through this in actual life. I don't think I like the subway train. You and me both. We don't like this one. I was sure of the ghost. I wasn't. You kidding me? If I was in a... Especially if I was alone in a train and suddenly spirits showed up, I'd be like, I'm dead. Great. And if I'm not dead, I'm gonna be haunted. nothing after this point is gonna be good for me. So I like the moment ghosts appear, I'm like, fuck. But hey, you and me, crazy. We had some fun, sassy moments. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.